Now, you may have heard this story before, but a new secret Star Wars movie has been announced and a director and writer assigned to it. It seems like the movie will be set following the Rise of Skywalker, making way for possible character returns such as the likes of Poe Dameron or maybe even Finn. That's if John Boyega would ever want to return to Star Wars. But will this project see the light of day? Let's break down what we know about this breaking Star Wars news. Greetings my young Padawans, my name is Captain Jack and welcome to Star Wars Now. Before we jump into the video, use the force and hit that subscribe and like button to never miss a video from myself and the team here at Star Wars Now. As always, if you're talking about Star Wars, we want to hear about it. There's no denying that the last one of Star Wars movies has left a bad taste in Star Wars fans' mouths, especially when it comes to the big screen. However, luckily for Lucasfilm and Disney, shows like The Mandalorian and Andor continue to be a success for them. But it seems like the House of the Mouse wants to get back on the big screen as soon as possible. Lately, Star Wars movies have been having a rough time. With multiple projects in development, none seem to be getting the traction they need. We've got Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron movie seems to be shelved and taken off the lineup. Marvel's Kevin Feige is still developing a project, while Taika Waititi has also worked on his own movie project for over 2 years. What's new this time? According to Deadline, writer Damon Lindelof of Watchmen fame is developing a new Star Wars film for Lucasfilm and will co-write the movie. Since the initial article from Deadline, The Hollywood Reporter has released an update stating Justin Britt Gibson will be joining Damon as his co-writer for the movie's script. Gibson has recently worked on The Strain and wrote Stars' The Counterpart episodes. In the director's chair, we have Shamin Obed-Choi. She's quite a sought-after director at the moment, having just come off Miss Marvel and is better known for some Oscar-winning shorts, such as Saving Face and A Girl in the River, such as The Price of Forgiveness. There is some talent in the director's chair for this Star Wars movie, so hopefully it'll be good. What is this movie about? Well, currently there are no concrete details, however the Hollywood Reporter claim that sources suggest the story could take place after Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, therefore post-sequel trilogy storylines. This has been long rumoured where Lucasfilm's next big movie project might land. It could also signal a return for characters from the sequel trilogy. Actor Oscar Isaac has said he would return to Star Wars if given an interesting opportunity, but it would seem like both Daisy Ridley and John Boyega are done with Star Wars right now, considering how their time went on the films in the last decade. Though never say never, many still have hope for a Jedi Finn series or movie. What other projects are in development for Lucasfilm and Star Wars? Could they connect with what has been mentioned today? Let's take a look. Of course, we have Rian Johnson with his Star Wars trilogy. First talked about after his movie, The Last Jedi, we've only heard interviews from both Rian and Lucasfilm of this movie being still in mind, with timing and schedules being considered, but it seems to be quite the way off ever being made. It's nearly 5 years since The Last Jedi, and Johnson still wants to make his trilogy of Star Wars movies. However, as he recently revealed, it would seem he's held back by scheduling of all things. A recent interview with Variety saw Johnson repeat some of these comments. He mentioned he's previously spoken with Kathleen Kennedy about his movies. Specifically, they're both still talking about it, which purely comes down to scheduling. Johnson is currently busy with his recently released movie, The Glass Onion, and making a follow-up film it would seem, so no time for Star Wars anytime soon. Another movie was the Rogue Squadron movie directed by Patty Jenkins, which presumably would look at the infamous Rogue Squadron brought into Star Wars canon from Legends. Where this would fit, especially with Rogue Squadron in canon being formed by Luke Skywalker in the comics, is unknown. Though I believe there are some throwaway lines in Star Wars Squadrons, a game could suggest some movie activity. So perhaps it was meant to be just set after the Battle of Endor and before the end of the Galactic Civil War at the Battle of Jakku. However, this movie was meant to be released in Christmas 2023, but recently there has been a scheduling update as Rogue Squadron has been removed from Lucasfilm's movie schedule. So whether this idea has been canned completely or delayed, we don't know. The closest Star Wars film we have right now appears to be Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie. This project has been in development for over 2 years. Revealed in January 2020, Taika was approached to work on the movie. It was therefore officially announced on May 4th, 2020 for Star Wars Day, and confirmed that writer Christy Wilson Cairns would be the co-writer. Many fans believe that Taika is working on an Old Republic film. It's an era of the Star Wars universe that no modern TV series or film has gone near right now. The closest we are currently getting is The Acolyte, an upcoming Disney Plus series that is set to explore the closing years of the High Republic. In terms of what we know about Taika's film, it only had a temporary logo and one bit of concept art released. See on screen now. The movie project is set for a late 2023 release currently. This was revealed by Kathleen Kennedy in a feature for Vanity Fair in May 2022, around the same time the Obi-Wan Kenobi series was released. It was meant to be a movie or even a series of movies from the Game of Thrones showrunners David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. However, this was never scheduled and may have sneakily cancelled after reception of Season 8 of Game of Thrones. Also, both of them kind of exited their deal with Lucasfilm in favour of working on something else. Many believe we might have dodged a bullet there, considering how Season 8 of Game of Thrones went down, so... Star Wars has moved in the way of TV since the release of 2019's The Rise of Skywalker, and is doing very, very well there, with numerous TV shows coming out from The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi, and latest one Andor. Not to mention a handful of upcoming Star Wars projects such as the Ahsoka series, The Acolyte, and even Skeleton Crew. So we may have to rely on Star Wars TV serving our need for Star Wars content in the near future, while Lucasfilm figures out what they want to do with their movie slate. Okay, Exalted Ones, that's it from me. What would you like a Star Wars movie to focus on? The Old Republic? The future past of sequel trilogy? You tell us in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with the latest Star Wars news, lore, and more. You can also follow us on social media as well, but please let us know what you think in the video comment section below, because if you're talking Star Wars, we want to hear about it. Okay, that's it for myself. I've been Captain Jack today here on Star Wars Now, and I'll see you very soon. May the Force be with you.